Good morning. We want to welcome you this morning to this meeting of the Drainage District Board of Directors posted for today, May 2nd, 2017. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. Please join us in prayer.
Thank you, Judge. Let us pray. Father God, we give you thanks for another beautiful day that you've given us, Lord. Just continue to ask for your wisdom and understanding, Lord. You provide that wisdom, your wisdom, to this elected body that you have placed here to lead this great county of ours, Lord, the judge and the 4 commissioners. And may they continue just to do what's best for the whole county. Continue to bless them, guide them, and more importantly, Lord, give them peace about all the decisions that they're making that affect us all, Lord. Continue to provide your wisdom and understanding to myself, my workers, all the workers of this great county, and all the leaders of this county, Lord. May we continue to do what's in the best interest to help our county continue to grow and prosper. I ask all this in your name. Amen. Bless you.
All right. The first presenter on the open forum is Marta Sanchez.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Judge. My name is Marta Sanchez. I work with La Unión del Pueblo Entero, and we are here, Arise, Lupe, and the Sierra Club this morning because we are thanking you to thank the Commission and thank Judge for the resolution that you're going to be talking about today against the border wall. You know that we've been talking against the border wall levy. We don't care what they call and so we just wanted to be sure to thank you for rethinking your decision, and thank all the commissioners, and we're asking all of you to pass this resolution. Thank you so much.
All right, next presenter is Virginia Townsend.
Good morning. I don't have the faintest idea if this is the place because I didn't see it on the agenda, but it's on the other agenda. Finally, we are considering step and grade. Wow. Do you know that we get more calls from more employees of this county who are upset about pay raises that some people get that other people don't get, and some people don't deserve it, and all this stuff about having parity. We get more calls about that than anything. If you are finally going to do something about that and make it so it's more fair straight across the board, you would do it with step and grade. And I'm really hoping you're going to do it because we're really tired of hearing the complaints. And yet, you know what? They've got something to complain about because it has not been fair. So if you finally do something that's going to make it fair straight across the board, we would appreciate it. Thanks.
Next presenter is Jacqueline Trevino.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you so much for being present this morning and for the opportunity to address you all today. I'm here on behalf of the Lower Rio Grande Valley Sierra Club, of which I serve on the Executive Committee, as well as Arise and Lupe, to speak to you about the levee border wall conversation. We clearly support passing the resolution that would state that this governing body stands in opposition to any levee border walls. Our local ecology and our shared cultural heritage with Mexico is important beyond value, and we need to preserve these pillars of our community while we have the opportunity to. Once these structures go up, once this conversation becomes accepted that these walls are happening with no room for us to assert our right to an open border and a collaborative border with our neighbors to the south, we can't go back. And local municipalities have an opportunity and a responsibility to be the first line of conversation in representing the citizens of Hidalgo County. And I can speak for the people in my life that I know, the Sierra Club members, the Lupe members that are here with me today, Arise members. We do not support border walls. We do not think it helps our economy. It does not help our local ecology. And levee border walls are still a major facet of the overall border wall conversation. I'd love to share that all of the levees that are part of this conversation have already been repaired using federal funds from the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act. IBWC has stated that all the river levees have been submitted for FEMA certification. FEMA has stated that the levees have met structural certification standards. So there's no current need to provide additional construction on our levees. Additionally, the levee border walls that we already have been destructive to local wildlife. We have seen firsthand that the walls have not allowed wildlife to survive the regional and temperamental flooding that we have that's normal as part of our ecology. And we do believe that if additional levee border walls are constructed as proposed in some of the correspondences that have been circulating recently, that it would essentially put an end to the lower Rio Grande Valley Wildlife Corridor, which has been created through a public investment of over $100 million through buying and restoring land over the last 38 years. We need to protect that investment and protect our local parks. Finally, on the cultural side, if the levee border wall is constructed as currently being discussed, additional infrastructure construction, we would be losing many cultural heritage sites, such as La Lomita Chapel in Mission, and access to our river. It would be going through Santa Ana National Wildlife Refuge and essentially blocking off Benson State Park, among other sites. For these reasons, as well as a want to be collaborative and remain in partnership with Mexico, we strongly call for you all to rescind any language of support for border levee walls and state as a municipal body and as a governing body that you stand in strong opposition to any such construction. Thank you.
Thank you. Next presenter is Ms. Norma Aldape.
Buenos días, jueces y comisionados. Solamente quiero venir a agradecerles, ¿verdad?, de que ya hay planes para trabajar en nuestra colonia sobre el sistema de drenaje. Muchas gracias por seguir trabajando ahí. Hemos visto trabajar en el área, soy de los Olivares Acres, en 10, 15 y 13 y media. He mirado que están trabajando al este de la 13 y media. Esperamos que ya pronto trabajen en nuestra colonia. Mis vecinos me preguntan, ¿y cuándo van a empezar? Como un poco desesperados cuando tenemos las reuniones, pero les digo, paciencia. Yo sé que nuestros comisionados, y gracias Raúl, el ingeniero Raúl Cecín, porque también está trabajando con nosotros, le digo, si ya nos dijeron que sí y ya están planes, primeramente Dios, se va a hacer. Confiamos en ellos y tengan paciencia, les digo a mis vecinos. Gracias.
Good morning. My name is Norma Aldape. I come from Los Olivares Acres. I'm a member of the Lupe and leader in my colonia. And I just wanted to thank all of you for the investment you're doing in my colonia, Los Olivares Acres. I had seen the movement around my colonia. I know that you haven't got to my colonia. My neighbors keep asking me when this work is going to start, but I keep asking for patience because we know that you're working on that and that you're going to deliver. So I have plenty of confidence that you are all going to get to our colonia. Thank you so much, Mr. Cecín, for working with us, and we will continue to be patient.
Thank you. Next presenter is Ms. Fern McClary.
Obviously, I'm the only one here that's for the wall, but I would like each one of you, I only know where Ramon's home is. I have not seen or passed by the rest of y'all, so I don't know if you have a fence around your property, but I know you do. And I believe your neighbor that just built a big, huge compound there, they have a 10-foot fence. Why do you have a fence around your property? That's so fences make good neighbors. I have a fence between me and a mobile home park. And if I were in charge, county judge, or the president of the United States, I would want a fence as Israel has, the country of Israel. They have to keep their country safe. Y'all are up there to protect the people that live here. There are gates, there are bridges that people can come across. We're not trying to keep anyone out other than the people that come here illegally and that want to harm us. So as I said, Ramon, I would like to see your fence go down around your home, and if any of the commissioners have them, please take your fences down. Let's have friendship. Let's open our hearts to your neighbors. I believe a lot of colonias have fences around their homes. Take them down. Why do you have a fence around? And I know that a lot of subdivisions have fences around their homes. So when you go home today, look at your fence and say, well, babe, we need to take this sucker down because we're not friendly. We want to be open-armed. And like I say, this is what we're looking at. You're to protect every United States citizen and anyone that lives here legally. You're to protect us. That's the first thing that's in your charge, is to take care of the people that live here. Thank you.
Thank you. And the last presenter is Casey Fletcher. Mr. Fletcher?
I saw that on the news. She's talking about
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. For the record, I'm Kenneth C. Fletcher. I'm from Precinct 2 FAR, and I'd like to thank our Commissioner for considering using the canal system that is throughout the county to make a neighborhood eco park. Nature tourism in the valleys up to $463 million, and that's in 2011 dollars. So each year that goes by, there's 6,600 people employed there. So it's a source of income for the county and also a source of jobs. Now, one of the things that we're having is a linear park that's going to come right through FAR, connecting San Juan and McAllen, so it makes a regional importance. And Commissioner Cantu got in his truck and went on the right-of-way of the canal, to see some suggestions. So I'd like to say in advance, we'd probably like a change in the direction of the canal. TxDOT has dictated a couple, 3 choices, but we want to modify that in FAR. And also want to start talking about getting public right-of-way. As of now, the right-of-way of the drainage district is private, really. It's owned by the county. And this is going to make ideal shaded walkway that's far away from any streets, compared to walkways like in McAllen. So I want to think for the future and add to some of the wildlife habitat that's being taken away all over the valley. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is that it, Bobby?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are there any concerns with the consent agenda?
No, sir. No concerns.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Judge. Item 5,
5.
discussion, Dow County Drainage System 1 project maintenance and operations. The 5 projects that we were to cover, just real quick, they're all IBWC pump structure projects funded by the 2012 bond funding. They're used on a drain flood pump. It's already about 50% complete. We're basically doubling the capacity of gravity flow there. We're also setting up a pump structure when we have to close the gates to be able to move water across the levee. In the event the water is it's too high inside the IBWC floodway. The same with the South Mercedes drain pump. That one is about to start construction. Same contractor, should be mobilized in the next 2 weeks. But the same concept there. And then Mercedes lateral pump, that's about 90% complete. Now that system also is doubling the capacity of the gravity flow there. That system itself is going to drain one of the developments that was recently just brought up right now in the 13.5 and 1015 area, Los Olivares. We are in the process of setting up the contracts to start construction on that project. So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, we should already be mobilizing. We're working with the Precinct 1 Commissioner and his staff to have an outreach with the community there. So probably in the next week or so, we'll be visiting with the community in that area and advising them of what's coming, when it's coming, and contact information and so forth. There will be some disruption there in that area during construction, but we should be able to move pretty efficiently through our contractor and get drainage into that area. So, but that is forthcoming. The FAR McAllen South Drain Outfall, that's another project that we just awarded. We're getting ready to issue contracts and start construction on that one as well. And then the Alamo Expressway Drainage Project is a project that the district has taken over. We're going to re-advertise and put it out for construction. We'll manage the construction of that project as well. So those are projects that impact a lot of the southern part of McAllen, FAR, and also the eastern part of southern part of Wesco, part of Mercedes, and then the eastern part of the county. So by creating more volume through gravity flow and then having pump structures, in the case we have to close the gates, also provides an outfall for those areas. So,
Mr. Cecine, I apologize. I think I need new lenses. I skipped someone.
Oh.
I apologize. I skipped someone.
Okay.
Miss Juanita Valdez Cox.
Oh, okay.
Again, I apologize.
For the open forum?
For the open forum.
Yes, sir.
Judge, Commissioners, I do apologize. I skipped it. My apologies, Ms. Cox.
¿Qué pasó? Buenos días. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I'm here on behalf of La Unión del Pueblo Entero, as well as support groups like Arise, and also the Sierra Club. And we are here to, of course, encourage you to vote in favor of the resolution that you have before you this morning. We, contrary to the belief in Washington, D.C., to the belief in Austin, these communities are safe. These communities, over and over again in different studies, we have found that, also contrary to our Mayor Beto Salinas' beliefs, we do not live in fear. And also that our communities, like I said, are very safe, and we do not need a border wall that will separate families or that will divide communities. These are our communities, and we have worked very hard along with all of you and all of your constituents to in many different ways, along with also the sheriff, the police departments, to keep our community safe. And I really am very pleased to be here and to have read the resolution and to have seen your some of you make comments in support of it. So I've called a few of you. I haven't received calls back. I wanted to assure that that you understood where we stand, where the community stands, and the damage that something like this would do. So again, on behalf of the different groups that are against this levee border wall, we are here to hopefully at the end of this thank you for your support. Thank you.
Thank you. And again, I do apologize, Ms. Cox.
No hay cuidado. No sé, es que había muchos y miré que lo tacharon, pero le quería decir nada más a los comisionados que estamos aquí en apoyo del apoyo de la resolución en contra del muro. También dije que al contrario, como en Washington, que piensan que vivimos en peligro, que estamos con mucho miedo, como dice a nuestro amigo Beto Salinas, no es eso. Nosotros estamos bien en nuestras comunidades. Nosotros estamos aquí para pedirle a ustedes su apoyo, como yo sé que lo van a hacer, porque ustedes saben que estamos aquí, que vivimos bien, y estamos aquí queremos darle las gracias después de este voto, porque ustedes van a estar con la comunidad y se ha escuchado la voz de la comunidad. Así es que muchísimas gracias.
Thank you. Gracias. Mr. Cecine.
Okay, we'll go item 6, 2013 bonds. Approval to issue payment of the following invoice number PP 22-2016 in the amount of $145,522.04 for Dow County Precinct Number 4 for reimbursement of labor, machine hours, and fuel related to the construction of the J09 project. Pay periods 22 through 26 of 2016. Everything's in order.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 7, request authority to advertise an approval of procurement packet, i.e. specification requirements, legal notice, draft requirements, agreements, etc., as attached here too for Dow County Drainage District Number 1 fuel, gasoline, and diesel on and off highway, RFP number ACTD 117-029-0524, including re-advertising of the project in the event no bid responses are received and or rejected and project is still required.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Item 8, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 22E as it relates to La Jolla Bypass Outfall Ditch Project and authority for the chairman of the board to execute documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B, pursuant to the board's approval of agenda item 59600A, requesting approval to issue manual payment of the amount of $37,939.39 to Sierra Title of Hidalgo County, Inc., order file number 000-3165862, parcel 22E.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 9, requesting approval of closing documents for parcel 37E as it relates to La Jolla Bypass Outfall Ditch Project and authority for chairman of the board to execute documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Pursuant to the board's approval of agenda item 59602A, requesting approval to issue manual payment in the amount of $22,478.13 to Sierra Title of Hidalgo County, Inc., order file number 000-316-1347, parcel 37E.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 10, requesting approval to submit TCQ the affected property assessment report prepared by Half and Associates that relates to the abandonment rifle handgun firing range located at ICD to 1 yard, and approval for general manager to execute.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item B, requesting approval to submit TCQ the response action complete report prepared by Half and Associates that relates to the abandonment rifle handgun firing range located at ACD 1 yard, and approval with general manager to execute.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 11, requesting approval to purchase one 2016 Peterbilt 389 winch truck to the Al County Drainage District Number 1 membership participation with by board's awarded contract to Rush Truck Centers of Texas LP, contract number 521-16, in the total amount of $222,143.22, including 5-year, $250,000 mile extended warranty and 5-year, 200,000 mile after treatment extended warranty, subject to House Bill 1295 and pending final review.
No, is this just a winch truck or a pole truck?
It's the whole haul truck, sir, everything. Yes, sir.
The haul equipment.
Oh, yes, sir. We have 17 excavators now.
Yeah.
We took one from your precinct as
Yeah.
well. We have an abundance of equipment that we're moving now. We're more active in construction, not just maintenance. We're doing a lot more projects. And the existing truck we have, we're still going to keep it on. We're just going to move lighter loads,
Yeah.
our shredders and so forth. But this is an investment that we need to make to continue our operations at the district.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you. Item 12, approval letter to Honorable Congressman Michael McCall in reference to clarification of the County of Hidalgo, Texas position regarding a border wall. Judge?
All right. What we're trying to do here, we have always, at all times, even when we acted on that initial letter, we advised Congress that we were against the border wall. But at that time, we were being visited by congressman after congressman after congressman, and they were all talking about building the border wall and spending the billions and billions of dollars in building the border wall. What we did at that time was saying, look, we're against it, but if you're really going to go through with it, if you're really going to waste all these billions of taxpayer monies, then why don't you go ahead and consider we're using some of those monies and reinforcing our levee system, increasing it by a height of 2 feet, putting some cement, something that'll make it longer lasting. At least get some good for the area out of all the billions that are going to be wasted. That was the intent of that initial letter. But what we're trying to do here now is trying to clarify and really make sure that the community understands that this Commissioner's Court is totally opposed to the construction of the border wall. And Commissioners, I don't know if any of you want to make any comments.
A comment, Judge. While I'm in agreement with the letter, I just, for clarification purposes, can you tell us the situation that the levees are in? And I'm not here to say that I don't want to move forward with this. I do want to move forward with this. I agree that we don't need a wall, but there's a little bit of misinformation on the status of our current levees.
Yeah,
if you can,
of course. We do have levees that are still earthen levees, and they have been constructed and have been certified by the IBWC on the water side. We have not received certification on the land side, which is the outside the levee portion of the levee itself. At least my office has not received anything in writing to that effect, nor have we been accredited by FEMA. Accreditation is a big part of the process to be able to say our levees are now ready. Let's start moving in updating our FEMA maps. So we're still back to where we were in 2008 because we have not received the accreditation from FEMA that will allow us to say, okay, now you're good. Start your process, your modernization, and start your updating of your flood maps for your county. That has not happened yet because we have not received that accreditation. Yes, IBWC has certified the levees, but we have not been accredited by FEMA, and there's an issue there, the land side, that needs to be addressed. We've reached out to FEMA on several occasions. They've told me, myself, that they will come down. I've asked to go to Denton to meet with them to go over this item. Has not happened yet. They're saying, just be patient. We're going to get with you. We do have two areas that are being worked on. There's an area at the railroad there that they're improving right now, and then we have our Penitas pump houses getting ready to be put out for construction that we partner with Irrigation District Number 1 and the IBWC to fund that effort. So once that's in place, we still need the accreditation from FEMA, and that has not come yet. And it's not going to come until we address. My understanding is the land side certification as well. And what that means is everything that's been certified has been inside the water side. When you divert water or water hits the levee, the land side has been signed off on. But if you have an event, and this is my understanding from what happened in New Orleans, it was the land side issue that caused the effect of the levee being brought down and the flooding that took place in New Orleans after Katrina, because the land side was not adequately, I guess, studied or certified, and that's what eroded away, and that's what caused the levee to fail. So that is my understanding that FEMA's position says, yes, you're great on the water side. What about your land side? We have that 1% event that could happen where we're diverting water at the same time, and then we have an event outside the levee and water is hitting it on both sides. Is the levee going to hold? Well, we haven't looked into that. We haven't studied that as far as I know, or the understanding that I have, and we don't have anything from FEMA saying, great, once you get your fully levee constructed, because there's those two sections that I mentioned that are still being worked on. Once that's done, we're going to accredit you. That's what we need to get. And this, we felt, was a step forward in that direction to be able to have a concrete barrier that would allow us to have the flood control measures that we needed to get a step closer. That's just the clarification that I just want everyone to understand. In my office, these elected board members have said, yes, we want this wall. It was very clear from the very beginning when the letter was written, the judge stated, we're not for this wall. But that's just the clarification that we want, I want to put out there for everyone to understand.
And what would be the, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Judge, if I could just, and the reason I wanted the clarification, because I think it's two separate issues. I think that, and we'll vote on it here in a second, but I think everybody's against the wall. I mean, I think that that's a given. I just don't want to put factually incorrect information in either the resolution or the letter. I don't want, because somebody has an opinion that our levies are complete or fine or certified, I don't want to put something inaccurate in there. They're two separate issues. The levies are one thing, the border wall is another. We can sign a letter saying that we're against the border wall, but I don't want factually incorrect information in anything that we approve. And that's the only reason I brought that up, Judge.
And if I can share my sentiments, I'm completely opposing the border wall. I do understand we still have FEMA issues. We've discussed that at length, Raul.
Yes, sir.
I think it's our fiduciary duty for the preservation of our tax base and to ensure, at least on the land outside of the levee system, that we do, in fact, go through the certification process for FEMA. But I do agree with Commissioner Cantu. It is a separate issue. In no way are we advocating for a border wall whatsoever, but we do have a duty to clear the FEMA issue, and I'm glad there's a clarification on the facts of the matter.
I can appreciate both commissioners are saying. I had an overwhelming response with respect to opposition of the border wall. The only conversation that I had with the constituent was that I am completely for anything that improves drainage. And if we don't know, or if we can't determine whether the integrity of our levee systems will assure that we don't have flooding issues, specifically in Precinct 1, because everything flows down that way. I am for anything that increases capacity. I am for anything that increases the integrity of our systems, which, again, we can't assure on both sides of the levee system. But from my position, I'm in agreement with Commissioners Cantu and Palacios in that I'm against the wall, but I am for anything that increases capacity and integrity of our drainage systems.
And we have been, since I took office in 2015, I have reached out to FEMA. Mr. Larry Boyce is my contact there, and I've been visiting with him on it several times. They had some events that took place between now and then that he's been pulled to different areas of the states, or his region, excuse me. But he has said, hey, we'll sit down. I asked him about Cameron County. Those maps have been already improved or updated, some of those areas. I asked about our county. He said, well, we need to visit, finalize your 2 levees, and then the issue of the accreditation needs to be discussed. And that's what we were looking at. We felt that we could get closer to our accreditation by this method, and that's all we were focused on. And our focus is solely on drainage, making sure that we protect our county from any event.
Could the failure to get this accreditation have an impact on the insurance?
Yes, sir. It would have a great.
That's what I want you to explain, because that's the only reason that we were.
And that's the reason. And just to get a little history, and I wasn't at the district, but I was at the county, and obviously followed it. That's the reason why the county partnered with the federal government back in 2008, is to basically get these levees improved after the Katrina incident. They had to recertify the levees to make sure that they were adequately constructed and could hold up an event. Because if you did not, it's like levees didn't exist anymore. Basically, that's what it was.
One of them was Cimarron.
Yes, sir. Basically, it was like the levees weren't there. If they were not certified and not accredited by FEMA, then the levees don't exist. So if the levees don't exist, which sounds crazy, but FEMA is going to say, okay, do your hydraulic model, which is basically do your little drainage study and show where the water is going to go when it goes through the floodway and the river when it rises. How far it's going to go. Well, in some areas we had to go into 495. In the Precinct 1 area, we had to go in all the way to 493, I think it was. I don't remember. But it showed a lot of effect. I mean, it would have had $1 billion effect on the insurance here for our people. And that's why back then, that's why the government body stepped in to look at that and say, okay, what do we need to do to improve these levees? And we still don't have accreditation. We still don't have that yet because of the issue that I mentioned. And we're going to continue to pursue that and see how we can get that done. But yes, sir, that's the effect it would have on us. Correct.
Thank you, Ro.
Yes, sir.
Judge, you need action on 12?
Yes, 12A.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Now, under 12B, this is the resolution.
Yes, sir. Approval of resolution in opposition to the construction of the border wall in El County, Texas.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Item 13, requesting approval of the following work authorization submitted by Millennium Engineers Group, Inc., related to the award of professional agreement number CA-CDD 117-0010110 for the provisions of construction material testing services, subject to House Bill 1295. 13A would be work authorization number 1, Mercedes lateral flood pump projects in the amount of $21,704.50. Work authorization number 2, which is item B, would be for the East Island Drain Flood Pump projects in the amount of $26,550.75. And 13C would be work authorization number 3 for South Mercedes Drain Flood Pumps project in the amount of $22,409.25.
Move for approval on 13A, B, and C.
Second.
Thank you.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
I don't have any items closed session today.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. At this time, we're going to be convening our regular meeting of the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court. The entire court being present, we have a quorum. Please join us in our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty
Dear Father in heaven, thank you for this day. One more time, dear Lord, please give us all kinds of patience and understanding as we go about doing the business of the county. Let us all understand that what is best for all the people is what is best. Sometimes we get off the track, dear Lord. But we do ask you to bless our families, bless our country, bless these commissioners and judge as they go about their work. And please just bless our county. Thank you, dear Lord, for everything. In the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen.
Amen. Judge.
Yes.
Could we have some students in the audience, and I know they're anxious to get back to class. So, Judge, if we could please take item 21A.
Right.
21A.
We're going to be taking 21A out of order. Please, can we have your attention? We're going to be taking item 21A out of order to honor some young men who did some good things and representing our county.
Will the Red Ants boys soccer team please join us up here? Starting here. Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Julia Sullivan with Public Affairs. This item is under Precinct 1, Commissioner David Fuentes, and joining us are the Progreso High School Red Ants boys soccer team, and they're joined by Athletic Director and Head Coach Margarito Jimenez Jr. and some other coaches who will speak in a little bit. But the resolution reads, whereas the Progreso High School Red Ants Valley soccer team, varsity soccer team, recently celebrated its most successful season for the second time, advancing to the regional semifinals, regional finals, and state semifinals. And whereas comprised of 4 coaches and 25 players, the Red Ants ended the season with a record 24 wins. Whereas the team, and if you can raise your hands when I read your names, is comprised of players Chris Rojas, number 7, Juan Elisha, number 17, Omar Anguiano, number 14, Edgar Melendez, number 19, Manuel Moreno, number 23, Oscar Munoz, number 3, Hugo Guajardo, number 18, Jonathan Contreras, number 9, Jacob Martinez, number 6, Ricardo Salazar, number 11, Jordi Gaitan, number 8, Anthony Vasquez, number 4, Miguel Puentes, number 5, Fabrizio Gonzalez, number 10, Jesus Trevino, number 22, Matthew Perez, number 12, Juan Perez, number 25, Arturo Gallegos, number 1, Hugo Hinojosa, number 2, Miguel Quintana, number 21, Jose Trevino, number 15, Nicholas Lopez, number 13, Darren De Leon, number 16, Oziel Jaramillo, number 20, and Daniel Garza, number 24. And whereas Athletic Director and Head Coach Margarito Jimenez Jr., also raise your hands, please, Assistant Coaches Frank Martinez, who's not with us today, Tony Constante, and Manny Garcia, spent countless hours mentoring and training the team in preparation for the journey through this year's victorious soccer season. These young athletes have displayed incredible discipline, determination, and success, bringing great pride to their families, their school, their city, the county, and the sport of soccer. And whereas as the Red Ants finished number 2 in their district, they went on to become the by-district champions, area champions, regional quarterfinal champions, regional champions, and finished the season as the Texas UIL 4A state semifinalists. Now therefore be it resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby honors the Progreso High School Red Ants for its teamwork, dedication, and sportsmanship, and congratulates them on their victorious season. Approve this second day of May.
Thank you, Julia. We have some tremendous talent here in the Rio Grande Valley with individuals participating in events such as track and field and other activities, golf, tennis, swimming. But it's very rare when we get a team of so many children that come together and represent Hidalgo County at the state tournament. So, and not only that, to do it back to back. So congratulations to the Progreso Red Ants, to their coaches, to all of their school district, their superintendent, and all the people that assisted you, your parents, in helping you get here. We're extremely proud of you as a Commissioner's Court for representing not only the Valley, but specifically Hidalgo County, and congratulations to all of you. So I'd like to make the motion to approve this resolution.
Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Congratulations.
Coach.
On behalf of Progreso ISD, our superintendent, Mr. Martin Cuellar, our board, we would like to thank you for this invitation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Will half of the teams stand to the side and then take a picture with your Whoever's in the front, please take a minute. Please don't cover up this middle portion. We've got our commissioners back there. One more. Maybe take a picture of this. I think we'll give the stands time as well. Please go. No, that's okay, that's okay. Smile, guys. 2 and 3. And now for the families and precinct. If you guys, we all would like to take some pictures. Are you done, Kathy? All right, thank you very much.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Can you ask Jeff?
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Okay.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Coach.
Thank you. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations.
You know, you might tell them that they want to watch television, that it'll come out at 8 o'clock on Thursday. On Channel 10.
Judge, I'm going to step out with them for just a second here at Cachalua. You can just... Judge, 5A, you have Councilman Torres for the city of Edinburgh here.
Is it for the bill bonds still?
Right on the...
5A. It's for the letters opposing.
5A, Councilman Torres, and then we'll get to that.
All right, we have another item that is Jaime Longoria here?
Yes, I saw him.
I don't see him.
There he is.
Yes. I've been asked to move up item number 16A.
Let's see.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Commissioners. We do have one of our board members, Ms. Elena Hernandez, with us today, and she has a conflict in her schedule, so I appreciate moving us up on the agenda. First of all, I'd like to thank you all on behalf of the over 2,000 people in Hidalgo County that are living in poverty for the resolution that you passed on April 5th in support of the Community Service Agency funding, the Community Service Block Grant funding. I will say I have good news. We've heard from our congressional delegation that money has been restored for all of those programs through September 30th. So that is good news for the Community Service Agency and for the over 200,000 people in Hidalgo County who at one point or another come into our facility and look for assistance. You know that we're among the highest rate of poverty in the entire country, and that funding is very important to those folks. I also wanted to thank our congressional delegation for working very hard together with you all through your resolution in support of that program. Judge, the reason I'm here today, and Commissioners, is there is a resolution in support of actually a proclamation declaring May 2017 as Community Action Month. And in the interest of time, I wanted to just go ahead and read the last paragraph of the resolution. It is attached to the agenda item. It says, whereas Community Action will continue to implement innovative and cost-effective programs to improve the lives and living conditions of the impoverished, continue to provide support, opportunities for all citizens in need of assistance, and continue to be a major voice of reason in establishing welfare system reforms. Now, therefore, Hidalgo County Commissioners Court hereby proclaim May 2017 as Community Action Month in recognition of the hard work and dedication of all Hidalgo County community action agencies. Approved on the second day of May 2017.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
We do have Ms. Elena Hernandez who would like to say a few words on behalf of the board.
Good morning, County Judge and Commissioners. Thank you for supporting the efforts of the community service agencies. What you have is an agency that actually is moving people out of hunger and poverty into jobs and into paying taxes. It's a remarkable program of supporting these families and providing an access to job training. So congratulations to the staff and all of you for supporting the Community Services Agency work.
Thank you so much. Judge, Commissioner, may we have a picture, please? Yes.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Sure. We have that. The short guy always goes on the step.
All right. Watch your mom.
Count of three, please. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bless you and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Thanks.
Any concerns with the consent agenda?
Yes, Judge, we do have 2 items of concern, or one, I apologize. Consent item, agenda 11B.
Move for approval of consent agenda excluding 11B.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Ms. Marty, 11B.
Yes, on 11B, we're asking, the concern is that the 1295 isn't in. We have sent notice to the vendor, and I am asking that it be approved subject to compliance with the 1295. We will not take action to execute the renewal prior to receiving and being compliant with the 1295. I recommend approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to take up that item number 5A. Discussion, consideration, and possible action regarding letters opposing Senate Bill 1338 and House Bill 3011. Is there anyone here to speak in favor of or in opposition?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
Renee Ortega. I'm a bail bondsman, and this is this is Mona Salinas, and she represents the Hidalgo County Bail Bond Association. And David, and there's several of us in the audience that we wanted to make sure that we understood that this is an unfunded mandate that the state is currently trying to pass. Currently, we have about 27.
What about Judge Rudy Gonzalez?
Judge Rudy Gonzalez had notified, I think,
I know
your
he's the
staff
chairperson, and he said he was going to be here and speak in favor of the letter opposing it.
That's correct.
All
and
right.
he's not able to make it, Judge. We just got notice that he wasn't. My understanding is he was going to.
All right, so go ahead.
Okay. So, anyways, we have several bondsmen in the audience. And there's currently 27 bail bond companies here in Hidalgo County. There's about 45 employees that are employed by these bail bond companies, and we are opposed to it. This is an unfunded mandate that it looks like the state is trying to pass and get the counties to fund a new magistrate. And so, with us having 45 employees, I don't know how big this department would be, but it wouldn't be a small task, Judge. And so we would ask that you would oppose this.
Judge, I'll make a motion for approval of item 5A, opposing, regarding the opposing letter of Senate Bill 1338 and House Bill 3011.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you, Judge and Commissioner.
Thank you.
Thank you, Court, and we'll continue doing our best to making sure as many people get to court as much as possible to save the county money. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Item 5B.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Ricardo Saldaña, Emergency Management Coordinator. Come before you regarding support of resolution in support of House Bill 1598 related to establishing a disaster identification system for the state of disaster. If I may I read the resolution, Judge?
Go ahead, sir.
Resolution in support of House Bill 1598 related to establishing of the disaster identification system for a state of disaster. Whereas Hidalgo County and their emergency management personnel take the responsibility to protect the health, welfare, and safety of its residents during a disaster seriously, and whereas House Bill 1598, authored by Representative Mando Martinez and filed in the 85th Texas Legislature, is meant to establish a disaster identification system for a state of disaster, and whereas Section 418.004 of the Government Code, which amended by adding all illuminated displays, which means a device that displays blue, green, red, or yellow colors, or the color white, displayed in a flashing or a steady light, and whereas upon executive order or proclamation declaring of a state of disaster, it will be activate the disaster recovery and rehab aspect of the state of emergency management plan applicable to the areas subject to the declaration, and whereas its authors and deployment, authorizing in the deployment and the use of any force which the plan applies, and where the use of distribution of any supplies, equipment, and materials or facilities assembled, stockpiled, or arranged to make it available, and whereas in the area subject to the declaration of a state of disaster, a person may use an illuminated device to communicate within a disaster relief personnel which may patrol the designated disaster area by air, ground, at night, or to locate a person in active illumination display. And now, therefore, be resolved that the Hidalgo County Commissioners Court support House Bill 1598, which has established a disaster identification system for a state of disaster that would greatly improve the ability for emergency response personnel to locate victims during a disaster event.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Judge, Commissioners, thank you.
All right, item 5C.
Morning, Judge Commissioners. Michael Leo, County Judge's Office. 5C is appointment of board member to represent the County of Hidalgo on the McAllen Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 1 Board of Directors. Bobby Arial from our office currently sits on that board. As you all may know, he's going to be transitioning out towards the end of the month, so we've kind of been preparing for that, been attending the meetings on his behalf, and this is just for the court to take official action to appoint somebody to that board.
I would like to recommend that we replace Bobby with Michael Leo.
Motion. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. 5D is the same situation. Appointment of board member to represent the County of Hidalgo on the FAR Tax Increment Reinvestment Zone Number 1 Board of Directors.
Move for approval.
Again,
Michael?
replace Bobby with Michael Leo.
Yeah.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good luck, Mike.
Thank you.
Item 6, our DA's office.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge. Item 6A, DA's Office Victim Assistance Program, Grant Fund 1281, approval to submit a Victims Assistance Program grant number 2924301, budget adjustment to the Office of the Governor.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
May I proceed to number 7A?
Yes.
7A, HIDA Task Force, approval of inter-fund transfer from Hidalgo County Criminal District Attorney's HIDA Task Force, Chapter 59, Fund 1251, to the Sheriff's Office, Chapter 59, Fund 1227, and Constable Precinct 3, Chapter 59, Fund 1230.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
7B, HIDA Sharing U.S. Treasury Fund 1252, approval and authorization of interfund transfer from Hidalgo County HIDA Task Force U.S. Treasury Fund 1252 to the Sheriff's U.S. Treasury Fund 1228, and the Constable Precinct 3 U.S. Treasury Fund 1257, and the Constable Precinct 4 U.S. Treasury Fund 1259 in the amount of $10,000 respectively.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Item 8, our Constable Precinct 1.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Martin Blanco, Customs Office, Precinct Number 1. The first item be A, requesting approval to process the following invoice as claims with authority for County Treasurer to issue payment after review, audit, and processing procedures are completed by the County Auditor. The vendor will be Dr. Gregorio Pina. Invoice number amount $200. PO number 7388861.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. The second item will be item B. Approval, number 1, approval to accept the award for Canines for Cops grant.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. Number 2 will be approval and authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign terms and conditions, agreement, and any other required documents.
Move for approval.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, gentlemen. You have a good day.
Item 8C, Constable Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Number 1, authorization for accept or approval notice in reference to the operation of Stone Garden for the year after 2016 for the amount of $75,000.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 2, authorization and approval for the county judge as authorized official to electronically accept grant awarded form and the related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Authorization for authorization to pay overtime reimbursable under the grant terms and conditions.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval for certification of revenues as certified as the county auditors for the year of 2016 Operation Stone Garden Grant.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Approval to appropriate the budget for the Constable Precinct 2 office portion of the for year 2016 Operation Stone Garden Grant in the amount of $75,000.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
At Sheriff's Office, item 9A.
Good morning, Joel Rivera, Division Chief with Hidalgo County Sheriff, on behalf of Sheriff Jay Guerra. Agenda item 9A1, authorization to accept the transfer of a mine-resistant ambush protective six-wheeled MRAP vehicle under the State 1033 program.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
2, authorization for county judge as authorized official and Hidalgo County Sheriff to sign the Law Enforcement Agency Executive Order 13688, Controlled Property Request Authorization Form.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
3, authorization for the pre-approval to include the Controlled Property Request Authorization Form for the following items, if and when available from the State 1033 program, use of HMMWV Humvee vehicle and 2 cargo trucks.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
4, authorization for the Hidalgo County Sheriff to sign the other required documents.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
The authorization for the MRAP vehicle is time sensitive. In essence, we're competing against other law enforcement agencies to get a $750,000 piece of equipment. So we'll be asking for signatures as soon as possible on that. Agenda item 9B. Approve to accept the award for Canine for Cops grant.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
2, approval and authorization for county judge as authorized official to sign terms and conditions of agreement and any other required documents.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 9C, approval of memorandum of understanding between the Hidalgo County Sheriff's Office and the Edinburgh Police Department reference to disposing of forfeiture contraband pursuant to Chapter 59 Texas Code of Criminal Procedure in connection with case number C-8351-14B.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
2, approval of Hidalgo County Sheriff to sign documents.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 10, our executive office.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. I'm going to go to item 10B as there's no action on item 10A or 10C today. 10B, I'm asking approval for the county judge to sign a certificate for Clifton Higher Education Facilities Finance Corporation Education Revenue and Refunding Bonds. This is IDEA Public Schools, Series 2017. This is solely for the purpose of satisfying the requirement of Section 147F of the Internal Revenue Code.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Item 11, Judge.
You're not going to take up the 10C?
No, sir.
All right. Item 11A.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners. Raul Seguero, representing the
Just a
Executive
minute,
Office
Raul.
and Human Resources.
This does not mean that we're not going to take up step grade. It just means that it hasn't been fine-tuned to the point where we're going to have to vote on it. But hopefully it'll happen by our next meeting.
Do you know you've studied it for 7 years?
Well, we're getting close. Go ahead, Raul.
Item 11A, Human Resources. The first 11A for WIC. First item is requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Background, these positions are being created for the summer only. This is for the summer food program. These are temporary positions. So the item reads, discussion, consideration, approval to create the following part-time temporary position not to exceed 13 weeks, effective May 22nd, 2017 through August 16, 2017. And those are positions as listed 1 through 8 on this page and the following page.
Move to approve.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B is for the JAG grant and the criminal extent court. This is simply a change in funding source. We're requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments.
Judge Rowe, I think you need to do 3.
Wait, we don't need number 3. Sorry,
Approval
no
to
action on
revise
3.
salary schedules?
No, sir.
You're not revising the salary schedules?
Yes, sir, we are.
Well, don't you need action on that?
No, sir. We brought an item to court. That's right. The last where the court agreed to allow the budget office to revise the salary schedule whenever they approved a personnel item.
Okay.
They were just typed in by mistake. Back to B is requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy for that item.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 2 is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective 3/20. I think the date is wrong. They would have to be effective today. It's the change in funding source. It's simply a funding source. We're going to delete the court coordinator position in program 115047 and then create it under 4045001. It's the same salary. It's simply a change in funding source. No change in salaries.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
On that one, we do need approval of the interdepartmental transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C for the sheriff and the jail. One, requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And 2 is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel actions effective next full pay period. The item is salary adjustment for the accountant 4 and a change in up from the 2 sources. There's a current budgeted salary $28,920 from program 280001 and which is a general fund, and then 24645, which is a commissary, I believe, and so the total is changing from 28,920 to 14,920 and 24,645 to $40,080.
All of these are going to be.
There's simply a reduction in the source of funding from one account to another.
But we're taking all of these up at the same time, right?
Okay, yeah, we can do that and create slots 0428 and 0429. One is a program manager 1 at 49,920, technician 3 at 33,755, and delete slots 062 and 424, procurement specialist, and technician 1 is listed.
Motion approved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D, for the 139th District Court for Judge Bobby Flores. We're requesting waiver of the budget amendment policy for personnel-related amendments.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 2 is discussion, consideration, approval of the following personnel action effective next full pay period. The judge is requesting an adjustment to slot 003, bailiff position, current budgeted salary 45,092, and the proposed budgeted salary is 50,395. This is not a salary increase for the employee. The employee was transferred to this position at a salary of, actually lost about $20,000. So the judge is restoring part of that from 65. The person went down to 45, and he didn't have time to adjust the budgeted salary. So that would be increasing the adjustment from 45,992 to 50, and then adding interpretive pay for that slot of $6,000. We recommend approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And requesting approval of the intra-department transfer.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge.
Mr.
Commissioner.
Shigeru,
Yes,
if
sir.
we can get on a full court press with the last different departments that are needed to get the step and grade in place so that we can put it on the next agenda and move forward. I just want to make sure that
Commissioner,
nobody.
the only comment I want to make is that we're not going to implement the step and grade from one day to the next. It's a process, and much like the budget process begins in June, and it takes July, August, September to complete, and we finally adopt the budget in September. Today, we were going to begin the process of doing some of the work that needs to be done so that we can implement it in the near future. But there's steps, and there's a lot of procedures involved, because there's a lot of laws that address how salaries are set by different departments, how salaries are set for bailiffs, for courts, for the jail, for the DAs. There's all kinds of laws in there, so we have to meet with every department and go through our position control list and what we recommend for them, and then meet with them and see that we have a way to give them the tools and the flexibility to move forward with that, so that everybody is under the same general umbrella, but it's not going to work exactly the same for everybody. So it's not something that can be done from one day to the next. We have to meet with all the departments and reach agreement as to how it will work for them within the general framework. So,
And all indications are we're real close, except for a couple departments. So I just urge you to meet with them. If you need me to attend, I'm happy to attend any of those meetings. My understanding is that we're real close, so let's go ahead and just push forward.
We've done a
for
lot
the
of
next
work
meeting.
over the last few months to develop the position list that gives uniformity across the board for similar positions doing similar work and the right grade. So,
And I'm hoping we can approve, even if we approve 95% next meeting, I'm hoping that we can do that and start moving forward with something.
okay, sir. Thank you.
Number 12, Urban County.
Good morning, Judge. Commissioners, P.R. Avila with Hidalgo County, Urban County. For 12A, subject to compliance with House Bill 1295, requesting authorization and/or approval to enter into a takeover agreement with Western American Insurance Company. The surety company will be taking the completion of the original contract for CAS companies in accordance with the terms and performance bond for the Hidalgo County Precinct Number 4 Parks and Recreation Improvements, Sunflower Park.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Then for 12B, we have a presentation on the status of the Delta Area Connector, the East Lateral Phase 1, 2, and 3 by Lefevre Engineering and Management Consulting.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. For the record, Richard Lefevre, project engineer on your East Lateral project. I wanted to start off by saying I know you guys hear problem after problem after problem after problem, and I know you complaining. I'm a resident of Hidalgo County. Today, I wanted to let everybody know and pat you on the back today about a project that is going to help the county. It is reducing constriction in an overtaxed drainage system. And I commend you guys and Judge for giving the Drainage District the fortitude to proceed with this and fund through the General Land Office for this project. Like I said, this is a General Land Office project funded through the Hidalgo County Urban County Program. I've been working with Mr. P.R. Avila and Mr. Tony Barco on this. I know they worked hard through Precinct 1 to get this project. I know the parcels, getting the parcels just for the easements and the right-of-ways, we actually had to deal with some of the landowners, and they're quite interesting folks. This is also, like I said, came through Precinct 1 and the Drainage District. Mr. Raul Cecil and Jaime Salazar have been instrumental in helping us with this. Without them, like I said, this project was through the GLO, funded through the GLO, through the Urban County, through Hidalgo County, but there is a substantial amount of in-kind services that is being provided by the Drainage District. Basically, they're digging the ditches. The design engineer was DOS Logistics. Lefevre Engineering, myself. Milo Salinas is here. I'm going to make him stand up so that he'll turn red. He's here. He's a project engineer on the project. Now Hector, who's a graduate engineer and also was the inspector on the project. We have listed here Sines Brothers Construction. They were actually the contractor that was in charge of proceeding with the crossings. Those are some of the items, and you'll see some of the crossings. They're very complex in construction. Did you start it? Okay. Description of the project: the Delta Area Connector East Lateral Drainage Ditch is 160 foot in width and 7 miles in length. It actually connects the Mercedes lateral to the main drain north of the county. Like I said, it's reducing the amount of constriction. All that water from Mercedes has to go back through the system. This is actually an alternate route that we're connecting the main drain with the east lateral. The improvements will serve relief to more than approximately 55,000 residents, and I want to make sure that's clear to everybody. 55,000 residents are going to be affected and have a positive effect on this project, and 15 colonias. I never hear anything about colonias anymore. This project will reduce and provide drainage to 15 colonias in Precinct 1 that had no drainage. So again, that's why I wanted to pat you guys on the back. This is definitely one of those high-impact projects. It also consisted of 14 road crossings and 2 outfall structures, one there at the main drain and one at the east lateral. We're going to provide an overall map. I don't know if the audience, you can see it. This project was actually broken. Can you still hear me recording? I'm sure, right? You can still hear me. The project was broken out into 3 projects. We actually started on phase 2 first, is where the main drain outfall structure is. There was a gate there at mile 19 and a half that restricts, if the floodway ever fills up, it prevents the backflow and flood, building up of pressure on the new lateral. Phase 1 and phase 2, I'll go all the way back to the Mercedes lateral. So this is actually done in 3 phases. And like I said, the in-kind services with the drainage district, they were digging the pilot channels and the benches, and then we had a contractor doing some of the crossings. Project and budget: due to inadequate drainage infrastructure, with the help of Hidalgo Urban County Program General Land Office, Discovery Recovery grants were also received in the amount of $15 million. Again, the $15 million says a lot, but you don't know what the actual in-kind services are from the drainage district and from the county. So we're keeping track of that so that we can provide that to the General Land Office and give them, through Precinct 1, Commissioner Fuentes, give them some idea of what it actually costs to build this project. Currently, right now, just before, we've got some pictures and some video, and I'm trying to make this sweet. Right now, we're slated for August for construction, full completion of this project. Barring any inclement weather, we have contractor in the drainage district performing all these, the ditch digging, the pilot channels, and all the crossings right now. The crossings were very difficult. We actually had to cross underneath 107 and put 8x8 boxes, 4 boxes underneath, which is 32 feet wide underneath that 107, and then actually had to work with TxDOT because they actually decided to work on the road when we were digging the ditch. So, and then we had a crossing in Monte Cristo, which is also a TxDOT road. So, if you know what it's like, you understand what it's like working with TxDOT. On the above, on what you see up there is August 2015. You'll see, if you look kind of like north and south, you'll see a little racetrack there. There's a racetrack there, and you'll see Mr. Harbison's old kind of pond over there to the right, and you'll see on the right-hand side is the actual drainage ditch that has been constructed. What's the next one? If you look on the pictures here, there's actually the drainage district constructing the pilot channel and constructing the ditches. The picture on the upper right-hand corner is actually the crossings. It was cast in place. The contractor was Science Utilities, Science Brothers, and they were actually the ones in charge of performing those, digging the ditch and setting the concrete. And those are some more pictures. There is a gap, an irrigation line that we had to, aerial line that we had to actually put aerial for the new ditch. And again, those are the crossing. And there's a transition on the bottom right-hand corner. You'll see the actual pilot channel and the ditch on the side. Top right-hand picture is the gate structure at mile 19 and a half, and then those are some more of the crossings that are there. And I believe we have a video that was provided by the Drainage District right now, so you can see. You'll see the actual. This was about approximately a month and a half ago. There's 2 more crossings, but I'll stop talking when you look at the video. Again, there you have the pilot channel and the benches there. And this started at mile 19 and a half, right? We're actually heading back towards the main drain. We're actually going north on the video right now.
Richard, if I may comment.
Yes, sir.
While the video is going, the historical significance was, if you go back through Dolly, this is the area that was the most inundated in this area. It literally took months for us, and the whole purpose was because we couldn't drain in the main floodway. I was an administrator at that time, but this east lateral serves the purpose of capturing all the water that can't get to the floodway, which obviously this is a major, major benefit to all the adjacent colonias along the way. But this is a great project. It's nice to see it on the ground.
And it's one of those, Commissioner, where it's just about done. And like I said, the numbers of residents that are going to be affected by it, I mean, you guys, should be patted on the back. I know y'all hear wah, wah, wah all the time. This time, it's a project near completion.
As part of your presentation, you said that this should be completed by August 2017.
Yes, sir.
Barring any setbacks with respect to weather.
Weather. And you know what season's coming up, right, Commissioner.
Exactly. So, and I wanted to stress that importance, that hurricane season is right around that corner. So this would be a really important push, in these last final months to make sure that we do get it in place and open it up and have it used during the next hurricane season, because it will relieve a lot of that flooding. Especially to the colonias that you were referring to and all the surrounding areas that Commissioner Palacios was referring to. I wanted to just get some affirmation that all the crossings now should be complete.
There's 2 more, Commissioner. There's 15 and a half and mile 16 are the only ones left that need to be completed. All the others have been completed.
Okay. And then the last thing that I wanted to ask about was, while we're digging this pilot channel and expanding the capacity, the connectivity to all the colonias has not happened, correct?
My understanding is that there are some, Commissioner. I don't know at this time. I know that there was another engineering firm through Urban County that was using this. I think some of the drains, they have the infrastructure involved, they just need to be connected.
Right. So the accessibility is what I wanted to actually talk about. Was, while this is extremely useful and helpful, there's still some work to be done.
Yes, sir.
Not necessarily with respect to this project, but we got to make sure that all of these colonias are connected.
Yes, sir.
Make sure
absolutely.
that all of these additional drainage lines are connected to this in order for it to be used in the capacity and the way it was designed. So I wanted to just make a public statement that while this completion may occur in August, the project itself is not entirely complete, and we'll have to continue working towards that. So we'll work with Urban County, and we'll work with the Drainage District, and we'll work through Precinct 1 to make sure that this connectivity is concluded, because that's when it's really going to show its benefit and usefulness to all of that surrounding area. So while I appreciate that the project will be complete, we still have some work to do to make sure that all these colonias are connected.
Yes, sir. We still got to connect them. My understanding of the infrastructure is that they just got to be connected.
Yeah, but it is a good project. We appreciate you following through and keeping a record of all of this on behalf of Urban County, because it takes a big team in order to get all of this done, and we appreciate what Urban County has done with respect to funding this and overseeing it through the GLO. Your firm keeping a record of all of this, and obviously the Drainage District and the Science Brothers Construction, making sure that it gets done the right way. We recognize that the TxDOT crossings are extremely difficult and complex, but once this is complete, it's going to be a very, very good program for all of Precinct 1 and Hidalgo County in general.
Absolutely.
So thank you very much.
And that's about it. I don't know if you have any other questions and comments. Judge, you're going to let me off the hot seat now?
Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, item 13A, our Health Department.
Good morning, Judge Commissioner Eddie Olivares, Hidalgo County Health Human Services. Item 13A, sir, is requesting authorization to submit the revalidation application to continue enrollment in Medicare. and approve for the county judge and the treasurer to sign the related forms and documents. Every 5 years, we've got to get our Medicare updated, sir. This is the time.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item B, sir, is Health and Human Services TECE grant is requesting approval to accept the Texas Epidemiology Capacity Expansion Grant contract number 537-18-0322 -00001 in the amount of $295,041 for the period of 9/1/2017 to 8/31/2019.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 2 is requesting approval of the county judge to e-sign the TECE contract and related documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 3, requesting approval of certification of revenue in the amount of $295,041.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 4, requesting approval of the budget appropriations in the amount of $147,521 for FY18 grant period and $147,520 for FY grant period.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Number 5, discussion, consideration, and approval of the following personnel actions. This would be for the contract amendment. There would be no impact on general fund. This is just for updating the contract, creation of slot 340-071-8, G001, and G0002 EPIs at the following salary.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 6, approval to transfer employee number 217117 to slot G001 under account 340-071 effective 9/1/2017, September of this year.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 7, approval to transfer employee number 204153, slot number G002, account number 340-071, effective September 1st, 2017.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item C, sir, there's no action on that item, sir. We'll take care of that. We got some legal counsel reviews to double check on. Item D, sir, it's requesting approval of the memorandum of understanding between the County of Hidalgo and the Remote Area Medical Services. Remote Area Medical is equipped with accessibility and resources to provide and conduct public health emergency response. This is another tool in our toolbox to help us deal with emergency response. Remote Area Services has been the one that's helped us during Operation Lone Star the last several years in offering dental and vision, but they also have capacity to respond to large-scale emergencies during a natural or man-made event. So we're doing this contract with them.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item F, sir, is under Health Care Funding District, discussion and action including but not limited to Healthcare Funding District and or expenditures. I have an update. As you know, Mr. Zaffarini have been coming and talking to you about the Uniform Hospital Rate Increase Program that we talked about, the LPPF, and that how we're looking at increasing DRG rates. The state of Texas has postponed that program till sometime next year. So there will be no action taken on that program until next year once CMS approves it at that time. So we'll just continue with our 1115 waiver and the LPPF program the way it's been running. But as of this point, that Uniform Hospital Rate Increase Program will not be in effect until the state and federal agree on it.
All right, sir.
So there's nothing else on item F, sir. Correction, item E. Item F, Indigent Healthcare Program. There isn't anything there unless you have any questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 14, adult probation. Anyone here from adult probation? Okay, go ahead.
14A for the month of February, it's the certification of revenue by the auditor in the amount of $4,990. And number 2 is the appropriation of the funds.
Move for approval. 14A 1 and 2.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
To March, the certification of revenue as certified by the auditor in the amount of $2,208 and the appropriation of funds.
Move for approval 14A 1 and 2.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item 15, facilities management.
For facilities management, we are talking about requesting authority for county judge to sign the inspection response form stating all violations cited have been corrected from the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation Compliance Division Architectural Barriers Act for the following building, 3100 South Business Highway 281 Edinburgh. It's the autopsy facility.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Item 17, our IT department.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Just bringing a little housekeeping on some invoices for the Warren Postcard Initiative. The mailing rate changed during the course of the program, so we're bringing in these invoices just for payment. So I'm requesting approval of the following claims and invoices as listed for the vendor information management services.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And if I may, I would like to take, I believe, is item, oh no, I've got more. Oh, I'm sorry. Item 17B is for Commissioner Precincts 4, authorization and approval to continue wireless service plan as listed on the grid.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Same with 17C.
So moved.
Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
17D, and as a point of information on facilities management, the quantity should be 2 instead of 3. It's a
So
typo
moved.
on the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion
Thank you. Have a great morning.
Thank you, sir. Item 18, our elections office.
Good morning, Judge. Good
Why don't
morning,
you begin
Commissioners.
by reminding people that today is the last day
Yes,
of
sir.
early voting. From how long do they have to vote today?
All entities are open from 7 to 7 p.m. today. They're all uniformed in their hours. We have got the City of Mercedes, the City of FAR, City of San Juan, City of Sullivan, and City of Elsa, as well as McAllen Independent School District and Sherryland Independent School Districts, all open until 7 p.m. today. And as you stated, Judge, last day to early vote, with Election Day being this Saturday from 7 to 7. So I was looking at the totals. They seem to be a little less than 2 years ago, which would be like a election, because we're like under 500 votes, and there were about the same number of entities running. So we need to remember to get out there and take advantage of today, and if not today, then Saturday will be your last attempt.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir. I have the last contract on the agenda.
Well, real quick,
Yes, sir.
can you clarify the issue in McAllen? I've seen it brought up a lot, just to give people an understanding of why we have different times.
Yes,
or what
sir, of
happened
course.
there.
Of course. We are running 8 different elections, and so the 8 entities agreed to open the first day and the last day, which for us historically are the highest voter turnout days. So although school districts are not required by law to open 2 7 to 7 days as the cities are, the school districts go ahead and abide for the ease of the voter. We had communicated with McAllen, but they had the city of McAllen, but they had already taken it to court, and their commissioners decided that they would do their last 2 days. Now, keep in mind that we're not running the city of McAllen election, but we are running 8 others. And so we could not change all our entities at the last moment to change all their orders to abide by this uniformity. So McAllen decided to do the last 2 days, the city of McAllen, and the rest of the county did the first and the last day, 7 to 7.
And so the most important from that is that the city of McAllen was running their own election.
The city of McAllen runs their own election and does not have to abide by the uniformity. In fact, no one has to keep that uniformity. I'm just glad that when we do administer the elections and run full contract, entities do fall in line with us. As I said, even the school districts.
I'm sure they'll call next time and try to coordinate those times.
We did communicate at the last minute. They had already approved through their city commissioners, and our entities had already moved forward with theirs as well.
No problem.
So I do apologize for the inconvenience of the voters, but this is what they do. They do the last 2 days, the city of McAllen, and the rest of those that we run do the first and the last day.
Got it.
Thank you, Commissioner, for that. Item 18B is approval of the last contract, the 2017 full contract for election services between Hidalgo County and the city of Elsa for their election to be held on May 6th, 2017.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you very much.
And item 19, our WIC program.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Clarissa Ramirez, Hidalgo County WIC program, here to present on item 19A, which is a WIC summer food program. We will be participating in a pilot program this summer at 6 of our WIC clinics, and we will be serving lunch to participants under the age of 18, 1 to 18 at 6 of our clinics, which are the Mercedes Clinic, the Donna Clinic, the Enver Clinic, the 2 Alton clinics, and the Sullivan City Clinic. So I'm here to request approval of the budget appropriation in the amount of $75,000.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Thank you.
Can I ask a question before you leave?
Sure.
Do you do any of your work in coordination with the school districts on the summer feeding?
This is actually going to be in coordination with the food bank. They're our sponsor for this.
Okay, thank you.
Our item 20, our planning department.
Good morning, Judge Commissioners. TJ Arredondo for the record. First 2 items are for preliminary approval. We have LCJ Subdivision Precinct 4. It's a 2-lot subdivision in a Zone B. There is drainage via Canton Roadside Ditch. It was approved by the City of Edinburgh. There is water via North Alamo, sewer by septics, and Canton Road is paved. We're recommending approval.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
Next item is Eduardo's number 17, Precinct 3. It's a 78-lot subdivision in a Zone X. There will be a storm drainage pipe system and drain ditch widening for drainage. It was approved by the City of Mission. There will be water via Sharon Water Supply, sanitary sewer by the City of Alton. Mile 6 North Road is paved and 3 internal streets are to be paved by developer. We're recommending preliminary approval.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item is for final approval. Val Reese Subdivision Precinct 4 is a 2-lot subdivision in a flood zone C. There is drainage via El Rusia Roadside Ditch. It's in the rural area of the county. There is water provided by the City of Edinburgh, sewer by septics, and El Rusia Road is paved. We're recommending final approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Next item, 2 items are final approval with financial guarantees. Luz and Tomas Subdivision Precinct 3 is a 1-lot subdivision in a Zone X. There will be drainage via Dolphin Roadside Ditch. It was approved by the City of Mission. There will be water via Awa Sud. There is a financial guarantee for 1 septic system, and Dolphin Road is paved. We're recommending approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Last subdivision is Sold Subdivision Precinct 1. It's a 12-lot subdivision located in a flood zone C. There will be a storm drainage pipe system and construction. There was construction and finalization of a drainage ditch to the rear of the lots. It's in the rural area of the county. There is water via Military Highway Water Supply Corporation. They're putting up a financial guarantee for 12 septic systems. Mile 4 North Road and Mile 2 East Road are paved. We're recommending final approval with financial guarantee.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Item 22, Precinct 2.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 22A, requesting approval of Amendment Number 1 to the agreement with the San Juan Cemetery Association approved by Commissioners Court on January 10th, 2017.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 22B, requesting approval to accept counteroffer to purchase a tract of land known as Parcel 1 for the Precinct 2 LJ Drain Project. At this time, I'd like to not take action on that item. We need to discuss it in executive session, and we'll bring it back for a vote. Item 22C, Precinct 2 Las Milpas Park Swimming Pool, approval and authorization to increase the current change fund by $15 from $10 to $25 for the Precinct 2 Las Milpas Park Swimming Pool in accordance with Texas Local Government Code 130.902.
So moved.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Item 23, Precinct 3.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Item 23A, acceptance of resignation of Filomena Leo, board member from South Texas ISD Board.
So moved.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
An appointment of member to the South Texas ISD Board, and we are recommending Becky Villarreal.
Move for approval.
Second.
Rebecca.
Yeah.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 23B, requesting authorization to install three-way stop signs at the intersection of Mile 8 and Sherry Road.
Victor, is everything okay with that?
Yes, they said.
All right.
They said.
Move
they
for
said
approval.
Second.
Those in
Is that everything
favor,
was
say
done?
aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 24, Precinct 4.
Yeah, Judge, I have two staff members coming up for the presentation.
All right.
Good morning.
Morning.
Okay.
And for the record, Elizabeth Gonzalez and Roman Rodriguez, Precinct 4.
Good morning, Judge and Commissioners. Elizabeth Gonzalez from Commissioner Velazquez's office. Our office has been working on all the necessary objectives for the FEMA projects. If we can begin the presentation. We're here to give you a status update of where we are at. So let me... The next slide. So allow me to take you back to 2015. Our first rain event began in April 21st, 2015. By May 29th, Governor Greg Abbott had already signed our declaration of disaster event. We had over 50 inches of accumulated reported rain and over 80 damaged roads throughout our precinct. 36 of those roads were approved by FEMA, and we received $890,175 funds that were appropriated through court on May 17, 2016. Since then, our precinct has been working on a 7-day shift, so our crews are working every single day of the week. Our impact, like mentioned, it was over 80 damaged roads. This morning I'm going to highlight 4 of those roads, which are Rio Grande Care Road, Penelope Street, Banderas Street, and Grove Street. The first one is Penelope Street. It is located between Rogers and a dead end. There's over 73 households with over 300 people that have been impacted. Okay, it's skipping. We have Banderas Street. There's also images on how heavily impacted they were with our rain. Again, for this one, we have over 200 people that were impacted in this subdivision. We have Grove Street, also, with over 230 people and 51 households. Each one of these projects entailed road improvements, full reconstruction, and also drainage improvements. So since the crews were assisting in the area, it was no longer a Band-Aid effect. It was a full reconstruction of the road and drainage implementation. Up to date, let's go with our completion. Up to date, we have 34 of those 36 approved roads completed. The next 2 roads will be completed within the next 30 days. And all road projects were made possible through our in-house road and bridge department. The surplus of funds that were that we are looking at, we will be petitioning for additional damaged roads through FEMA.
If I can highlight that part, Judge, what FEMA allotted us, we were able to do it under budget. There is some surplus of funds of which, within our petition to FEMA, we were not awarded all the roads that we had petitioned. We're hoping to have them reconsider in the reappropriation of some funding to be able to utilize on some of the other damaged roads. I do want to recognize Roman Rodriguez. He's been with the county for 31 years. Obviously, he started probably around 18 years old. But he's our road and bridge director. Without him, we couldn't have done a lot of this. I want to give him commendation along with the crews that have been working 7 days a week for the last 2 years to be able to get to this point where we're officially will be done within 30 days of all the FEMA roads. Now, as Lizbeth was saying, we took the approach of not just repairing the roadway. We looked at working with our drainage department as well as our drainage district to provide needed drainage so that we can preserve the monies that we did get from FEMA. But I just want to give commendation to Roman and thank him and all his crews on what they've been able to do for us.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And to complete currently our status, as mentioned, we have 2 roads remaining which will be completed within the next 30 days. Those 2 are Valverde Road and Ruth Road. And as to wrap it up, there was over 1,000 households and over 4,000 people impacted with our improvements with the roads and our drainage systems. And we do want to say special thanks to our precincts, the other precincts who helped out during our disaster event, and all the departments that have taken part into this project. It's been a long-term project, but it has impacted a lot of people, and the benefit, it's there.
Yeah, I want to highlight that all precincts have helped us with dump trucks, oil distributor. All the part of the construction couldn't have happened without the support of all the precincts, so we really appreciate all that they've done for us. But thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good job, Commissioner.
Would you like me to read the phone? Okay. For item 24B, acceptance of resignation of Louis Kiefer, board member of the Emergency Services District, number 3 board.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
And item 24C, precinct 4 road, 24B2, appointment of Travis Richards to the Emergency Services District, number 3 board.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 24C, Precinct 4 Road Maintenance, number 1, approval of 2016 certification of revenues by county auditor of funds received from the Hidalgo County Drainage District number 1 for reimbursements from the J09 drainage project.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item number 2, approval of 2017 appropriation of funds into Precinct 4 Road Maintenance in the amount of $145,522 with 4 cents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Item 25, our budget office.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. Ray Salazar with the
Morning,
Department
sir.
of Budget and Management. Today, I'd like to present to you a status update on the Streetlight Pilot Program. The goal of this program was to improve quality of life, safety, and build up relationships with our community. Well, we cannot do this without a partnership. So that was our primary goal, was to develop a partnership within our rural communities to enhance our safety, security, and quality of life through the installation of subdivision streetlights. The partnership and the work that was done involved a lot of coordination, a lot of updates, and a lot of information, both feedback from the community, your chiefs, the governing body, and the community that we see here. This is Ms. Marta Sanchez and Ms. Andrea from Arise. Just a little history on the program itself. Back in 2004, the community advocacy groups met to designate the streetlight campaign with local and state leaders. In 2005, House Bill 775 was approved designating CDBG funds for streetlight projects. House Bill 574 granted counties the authority to assess fees for the cost of street lighting. In 2012, we were fortunate to apply for a Energy Efficiency and Conservation Block Grant program, which allowed us to fund streetlights throughout our precincts. In 2015, House Bill 3002 was passed, which allowed us the assessment of streetlight fees on annual property tax statements. And in 2016, the streetlight program, in 2015, a streetlight committee was formed to begin looking at ways of how we could proceed in allowing our efforts with the communities into development of streetlights. In 2016, we went ahead and initiated a streetlight program which impacted 10 subdivisions and 862 lot owners. And what we have today is a one-year assessment of the streetlight program. So what we see here is on the pilot program communities, we were impacting 862 lots for a total of 10 communities. So just a little background on that. So the question is, well, how well did this partnership go? In the Misueño subdivision, we saw 35 lots, and our collection compliance ratio was 83%. In the Eldora Heights subdivision, we saw 340 lots with a 90% compliance ratio. Eduardo's number 8, 56 lots, 96% compliance ratio. Pueblo de Palmas, 214 lots, 98% compliance ratio. Guli Meadows, 161 lots, 99.38% completion ratio. Lucero del Norte, 56 lots, 99% compliance ratio. On average, in 2016, for our streetlight program, we saw a 94% compliance ratio, meaning that 94% of the lot owners, when they received their streetlight fee, made a successful effort to come in and pay their prorated portion. So, what did we learn from that? Obviously there was a lot of coordination that needed to be done. We learned that AEP and Magic Valley are the only electric distributors in Hidalgo County. We also saw that subdivisions with front-of-lot service are the least expensive to set up. Subdivisions with back-of-lot service are the most expensive to set up. We also learned that AEP does not assess an installation fee for street lights on their existing poles. When we were looking at the compliance ratios, we also saw a spike in streetlight fee collections that occurred in February and March, which coincides with the income tax refunds. Some of the streetlight applications had missing information that did not allow us to get a complete picture. We saw that individuals and subdivisions that were reporting outages, when they were reporting the outages, the utility companies did not have a streamlined method of how to address this, because this is something that they had not seen as a major emphasis. And the biggest one is that coordination and communication with external partners is key. So moving forward for 2017, there's a total of 16 applications that have come in. There before you, we see a listing of each individual subdivision for a total of 899 lots. From these potential applications, 5 of them have front-of-lot service and 11 have back-of-lot service. So that's going to be a decision point to the court with respect to how fast we want to move forward. We know that front-of-lot subdivisions are a lot easier, and we can do them a lot faster. We can do many, many more versus back-of-lot subdivisions. Back-of-lot subdivisions involve more costs on the front end. We'll have to purchase or coordinate with the utility companies for some engineering and procurement of relocation of poles, purchase of right-of-way easements and accesses. So as far as a project timeline, back-of-lot services are more expensive, and they require more of a logistical effort, both from the utility companies, the precincts, and the community. So when we look at, the efforts that everybody has made, we reflect on, what kind of recommendations can we make moving forward. Well, one of the biggest ones is we need to continue to work with our community advocacy groups and the community at large, basically to understand, when we submit an application for street lights, we need to ensure that, number one, we have a good compliance ratio. We want to make sure that this is something that the whole community at large is fully aware of what they're stepping into. We want to be fully compliant and transparent, and we want to make sure that this is seen as an advantage versus a disadvantage. We heard from many communities that the street light was something that initially they did not want, but once the petitions and the information came in, it was something that they really, really thought back and said, what, this is a good thing. I don't mind contributing a prorated portion because it's fair for everyone. We're seeing also the need to amend the streetlight rules, and the amendment will be with an emphasis to prioritize front-of-lot subdivisions. We know that back-of-lot subdivisions, as I mentioned, are more costly, and surely we can develop strategies to address them, but we don't want them to be mirrored with the front-of-lot, because there's a whole other steps, as I mentioned, that need to be taken into consideration. In working with the community advocacy groups in the communities, they also mentioned that they were willing to work for the establishment of prepayments or the submittal of a deposit in escrow to some of these subdivisions, so as another way for them to demonstrate their willingness to participate in the program. We know that the installation of subdivisions that do not have streetlights, that do not have utilities and the correct infrastructure, are going to require funding. So one of the recommendations that many of the precincts are already doing is that we utilize more CDBG funding for the installation of back-of-lot streetlights. Along with that, once we have identified a potential pool of monies, both from the county and CDBG, we can also begin looking at how many potential back-of-lot subdivisions we're going to continue to light up in the future. And the last item that I had was we wanted to recommend that on the compliance ratio that we increase that from 75% to 95%. As you saw, we had a high compliance ratio. So as the program grows, we also grow along with it. And we set the standard for future subdivisions and future communities that may want to participate. We're seeing that this is, again, a partnership, and we want to ensure that both partnership is equally split. The county's taking on the responsibility, the residents are taking on the responsibility. We want this partnership to be equal. So, in closing, one of the things that we cannot stress enough is the partnership. The partnership was key. Partnership amongst this governing body, partnership with the community, and the assurance that we are moving forward with the best interest of everyone. Ms. Sanchez, if you'd like to say a few words, or she would like to say a couple of statements.
Yes. When we look at the benefits from the first pilot program, 860 lots, it really impacted almost over 2,000 people that live in those colonies. So you're just talking about the $15 million that you have spent, and the numbers are much lower than this one. And I know that some of you did not invest $0 in this project. because some of these colonias already had full infrastructure. So over 2,000 people, a lot of those children got benefit from this pilot program. So we are ready to move on with the next project, the next level, but we would like to at least consider the ones who are ready to move forward fast, the ones that already have the infrastructure, which is due investment will be very minimum. It will be only the lights and the arms that they need to be put on those poles. So those are the ones that we, as a nonprofit organizations, we're really pushing to be moved fast. And we do agree that that was the recommendation before, that if that's the best way to pay it ahead 1 year and leave it as a reserve for the next year to pay the electricity, that will be much safer for the county, and the people are willing to do it. I think that all these recommendations, we're not doing arbitrary. We go back and communicate with those colonias who had been putting the signatures already, and so those are the colonias that agree to these terms. So it's not like we deciding for the community, but they're deciding in what is the best way. So they're already putting a lot by picking up signatures from their neighbors, agreeing that they're going to be paying. So that's one of the things that they're already doing that. So they're asking of you that you are willing to invest in some of those colonias. But I think that at least let's move on those colonias who already have the infrastructure in the front, and that they're ready to move on. And I know that it's not that many because we haven't really focused on doing those only, but in the beginning we're learning, as Mr. Salazar said, that some of those colonias where the back infrastructure was going to take a lot more investment on your part. So that's why we didn't know that we should be looking only for colonias that had infrastructure in the front, but we have a mix, and we will recommend is that, I know that like the thing with Gulimeros, Commissioner Joseph Palacios, with Curry Estates, you fix the whole colonia from drainage, streets, and of course the obvious things that is left over in there as the light, and that the colonia will be a perfect colonia, as you can say, because it's addressed all the issues, improve the quality of life of all these people. And so I think when you have this is one of the recommendations, that when you are fixing a colonia from the bottom up, from everything, that you should be looking at budgets to include the infrastructure for lights. That's obviously, since you're already investing a lot more in those colonias, that will be the obvious thing. So that is what we recommend. We do want to continue to. We don't want this project to stop, as probably you know, because as I said, we benefit almost over 2,000 people in the very first pilot, which, as I said, it was very minimum investment from the county. So please, and behalf of RISE and behalf of the members of the colonias who are actually waiting for your response, take in consideration that let's move on with the next phase, especially in those who already have infrastructure in front, and then let's continue to conversations on how you going to find the money to address the other colonias who have the infrastructure in the back or underground or things like that. Thank you.
Ray, if I may comment, this is a perfect example of a good public-private partnerships. I know that I've seen your metrics in regards to at least increasing the participation to 95%. Obviously, it's not a giveaway program. There's a much-needed investment, not just on the county, but obviously on the residents to take care of the electrical bills that they sustain month by month. I'm a big advocate. I know we've had a lot of projects still in the waiting. But I guess this is a presentation to the court showing the success of the project. We're looking forward to continue working with. The success is in our partners. At the end of the day, they're the ones that are advocating to their constituency to assure that they're paying their bills and assuring. So some of the ideas that you're having on regarding prepayments and things like that are great models to follow to assure that there's more success to this program. So
the only thing that I wanted to say about the 95% is that it's very difficult to get 95% when people do not live in the colonias, because there are empty lots that we have to take in consideration. And by the means, we try to get 100%. But a lot of times, people do not live in the colonias. People have empty lots, and that is where our difficulty comes to get to 95 or 100%. So I want you to be a little bit realizing that there's an issue, and to be able to reach people who do not live there is almost impossible because they usually don't live there, and we can't find them. So I know that they pay the taxes, but it's not easy to get their signature when we get in seeking approval to get to pay the electricity. So just take in consideration that we don't want this 95% to be in stone, because it is going to be difficult for some people to find other residents inside this in the colonias. What we had to find out regarding to what Mr. Salazar is that the people who in the beginning were kind of reluctant to participate in the program are the first ones are paying now. Because they had seen an improvement on their lives. They feel like more dignified. They're much more safer. They had improved the quality of life, that was the whole purpose of this project. People had a lot more physical activity. The kids played more outside. Because it doesn't get as dark, it's not as dangerous. People in colonias had been forming teams of soccer to play in the empty lots that are there. So people you can ensure that the quality of life that you had made for these people are very high. And so people live a lot more better life now that they have. Just the other thing, and I said, many of you did not invest $0 in this project, but that really secure a lot of quality of life for these people. So please take in consideration of this. This is one of the few projects where it's not going to cost the county a lot of money, but actually I can assure you that the property value is going to increase because a lot more people want to buy the properties there. So at the end, the property is going to be going up, and we're going to pay more in taxes, which is the money is going to come back to the county, because these people are more likely to buy property in a colonia that has light and it has all the services that a colonia that is completely dark, that people do not probably will not go and live there. So anyway, take in consideration all these points, and let's continue working together to improve the lives of more people.
Thank you, Ray. Great job, Ray.
Buenos días, soy Andrea Landeros y pues también quiero agradecer y reconocer, ¿verdad? Todo hemos trabajado arduamente en las comunidades, educándoles y animándoles a participar, y quiero agradecer especialmente al señor Rey Salazar por su tiempo. Hemos estado teniendo varias reuniones en todo este tiempo, mensuales, sí, las juntas mensuales. Y él está muy dispuesto, muy abierto, y la invitación es a que ustedes sigan colaborando con nosotros para dar alumbrado público a las colonias de mayor necesidad. Muchas gracias.
Thank you.
I need to translate that? Or you okay? You okay?
Yes.
You do? You do?
No, we're good.
You're good. Okay.
Thank you, Commissioners. We'll continue to work with your teams and your staff.
Thank you, Ray. 25B.
Morning, Commissioner. Sergio Cruz, Department of Budget Management. Item 25B, 1 and 2 is ratification of the Sheriff's Office grant acceptance date approved by Commissioners Court on March 7, 2017, AI 58762 from March 7, 2017 to May 2nd, 2017, and ratification of the Constable Precinct 1 grant acceptance date accepted on the same date, AI 58799 from also March 7th, 2017 to April 17th, 2017. This is an Operation Stone Garden.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Item 25C, authorization to submit the Economically Disadvantaged Counties Program application and affidavit for the FM 494 project from FM 676 to State Highway 107, CSJ 0864-01068, with authority for the county judge to sign all required documentation.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 25D, 1, discussion, consideration, and approval of agreement to contribute right-of-way funds between Hidalgo County and the Texas Department of Transportation for right-of-way acquisitions for FM 907 from Nolano Road to Interstate Highway 2, CSJ 158601069, with authority for the county judge to sign all required documents.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item D2 is approval to issue check payable to the Texas Department of Transportation in the amount of $549.09 for the county's estimated share of right-of-way acquisition for the FM 907 project. With the
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item E is discussion and action to authorize Mr. Valdeguerra, the county executive officer, to sign certificate of tabulation of utility adjustment for the FM 1925 right-of-way project, the CSJ 180302033.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 25F1 A and B is approval of certification of revenues as certified by the county auditor and appropriation of those funds into the Precinct 4 road maintenance program account in the amount of $65,262.50. This is for the Mile 5 road project.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners.
Thank you, sir.
Item 26, Purchasing Department. Martha Salazar for the Purchasing Department. 26A1A, action to cease negotiations with the number one ranked firm of the Dannenbaum Group in connection with program management services for the design and construction of a new Hidalgo County courthouse.
Have you worked with Steve on this, Marty?
I believe Mr. Guerra, Valde, and Mr. Crane. We had some conversations about it, but I think the discussions were between Mr. Guerra and Mr. Crane.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Judge? No.
I wanted to, I guess, to open it up. You know, we're talking about the construction of the new county courthouse, the contractor being the program manager. We've gone through the rankings. We ranked that the Dannenbaum team was ranked number one. We have been involved in some good faith negotiations. We have met 3 or 4 times, and my impression of all of those times, all parties were acting in good faith. And however, the circumstances that we were made aware of last week, that occurred last week, has created an uncertainty that could adversely impact the construction of our new county courthouse. And we don't have a as a result of those circumstances, I was going to be recommending to the County Commissioners Court that we cease negotiations with the number one ranked firm, the Dannenbaum team, in connection with the program managed services for the design and construction of our new Hidalgo County Courthouse. Commissioners, any comments?
We have Mr. Seitz from Dannenbaum. I don't know if he wants to say something.
Signed up to speak.
Good morning, Commissioners, Judge.
Good morning, Mr. Seitz.
Good morning.
For the record, my name is Richard Seitz. I am the Vice President of South Texas Operations for Dannenbaum Engineering, which encompasses the McAllen, Laredo, San Antonio, and El Paso offices. I wish to thank the Commission for the opportunity to make a statement regarding our position on the pending program management contract for the new courthouse. For over 71 years, Dannenbaum Engineering has been and remains a highly respected program management, construction management, and design firm with capabilities to provide professional engineering services for large major infrastructure projects required for both horizontal and vertical construction. During this time, Danabaum Engineering has earned the trust of government entities, communities, and its business partners. Danabaum Engineering has had its office in Hidalgo County in the city of McAllen for over 17 years. The McAllen office of Danabaum Engineering is not a storefront like some other out-of-town engineering firms. The McAllen office of Danabaum Engineering has always been fully staffed with professional engineers, surveyors, design technicians, and environmental analysts, many of which are the product of our own local colleges and trade schools. That Danabaum as prime and its subconsultants are highly qualified to successfully complete the program management of the new courthouse project is unquestioned. As Vice President of South Texas Operations and proposed Program Director on the new courthouse, I would like to assure Hidalgo County, the Honorable Judge Ramon Garcia, and the Honorable County Commissioners that Danabaum Engineering and its subconsultants are ready, willing, and able to undertake and successfully complete the program management of the new Hidalgo County Courthouse project. All the legal terms of the program management contract between Hidalgo County and Danabaum have been agreed to. The only items pending for completion of the contract is acceptance of the final scope and fee. The tasks, man-hours, and itemized cost of all activities in the scope have previously been provided to Hidalgo County and all of the commissioners on spreadsheets. Danabaum's proposal for scope and fee has been delivered to Hidalgo County. Finally, there is nothing about the events of last week which would impede Danabaum and its teams from performing the contractual requirements. All key staff personnel of the subconsultants and key Danabaum personnel are available to successfully complete the project. Thank you.
Bob, are you going to be making a comment?
I don't need to make a comment, Your Honor.
No.
Thank you.
I just have a question for Steve. If we wish to proceed with a second-ranked firm, what's the legal way to do that, and do we do that at this point, or?
Before you can proceed with the second-ranked firm, you get to cease negotiations with the number one ranked firm. And then once you cease negotiations, then you can, I believe it's also on your agenda item A1B, to commence negotiations with the number two ranked firm.
Do we need to talk about any of this in the executive session, or?
That's up to the court.
Well, I'm just asking in that if we make a decision on A1A and then we move forward to A1B, I just don't want to jeopardize. I don't want to put us in a situation where we're going to get, sued for not pursuing the number one ranked firm. And if you're comfortable going with approving A in whatever manner the court decides and going to B, if you're comfortable, I'm comfortable.
I don't know the definition of comfortable, so I'll be happy. I'll be happy to go back and talk to you with you in closed session.
And what exception are we going to be relying on? I just want to make sure we lay it out in the record as any exception to the open meetings law that will allow us to go in executive session, if there is one. What would it be?
Be either a combination of potential litigation or, let me get back to the exceptions that you have listed on your agenda. The only thing you have listed on your agenda for today is real estate acquisition, pending or potential litigation. And that's the only thing you have listed on your agenda, so it has to be potential litigation.
Well, let me just define comfortable. What I mean by comfortable is that you put us in a situation where we can't prevent lawsuits. I understand that. But I want to be able to provide the right record so that if anything were to occur in the future, that would be best protected, and so that we're not going to be put in a situation where somebody comes and tells us, well, had you said this or not said that, you wouldn't be putting yourself in a legal predicament.
I believe we provide some items to the judge yesterday, a statement to the judge, that I would be much more comfortable if that was the reasons stated, and we can discuss those reasons if the judge has a copy of that.
So would that be in
it has to go to competence of the number one ranked, and also the qualifications of the number one ranked.
Would he read that and that become a motion?
Well, that would be. I think that's what we need to discuss. Those two items is competence and qualifications.
What do you think, Judge?
Is any member of the court interested in following up on this issue of there being an exception to the open meetings law that would allow us to go into executive session? I mean, I can read what was provided to me by Mr. Crane in his office, but that would I can let me just lay it out, the language. And
but Judge, if you have concerns, I mean,
I don't really have any concerns. I mean, the facts aren't going to change whether we go back and talk about it or we talk about it here. And we don't really know what's going on. We don't know why the government did what it did, but we know that it did happen. And we know that it happened throughout the state in the various offices of Dannenbaum Engineering. We don't know what the government is looking at or looking for, but we need to decide whether or not we believe, using our good basic common sense and relying on the fact that we are acting as fiduciaries for the residents of this county in the expenditure of all these millions and millions of dollars, whether or not we have a concern that such reported actions would adversely and negatively impact the performance of the services required of a program manager in a competent and qualified manner. If we believe that those concerns exist, then I feel we've got a basis for stopping negotiations. If we don't, then we don't. But it's a matter of what the members of the court, how they feel about it. I believe that the concerns exist, and that's why I made this recommendation. But I'm just one person.
Well, just to add to that, Judge, my concerns are public perception, and that this project is a tough project to get underway. There's a lot of moving parts to this. There's a lot of concerns about costs in different situations, and that I think that unfortunately, for whatever reason, this situation happened, and the public perception is going to be. I mean, we've seen articles almost every day on this, and so because we don't have a contract, and because we have the opportunity to consider another firm, I think that we should definitely consider that. I just want to make sure that we lay the groundwork to protect us from being, sued. Obviously, like I said, we could always be sued. I just want to be protected as much as possible from losing that lawsuit.
And Commissioner, if I may add, the decision has to be based on the firm's competence and qualifications.
Your Honor, may I speak?
Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
And Judge, just for the record, as Mr. Seitz was up on the podium on this issue, we also did have, on the very same issue, the same form filled out by Ms. Fern McClarity.
Go ahead, Bob.
I understand the concerns about public perception, okay? And if that's the reason why you want to make your decision, that's up to the court. But I don't think it should be a pretextual reason to say that Dannenbaum Engineering and its team of qualified sub-consultants are not, to pretextually say, well, it's an issue of qualifications or competency. Because there's never been an issue of qualifications or competency. That's why they were ranked first in the first place. So if you're going to decide to cease negotiations with Dannenbaum and their team, then the real reasons have to be on there. I'm concerned about public perception or whatever, but don't say it's because Dannenbaum and the team is not qualified or competent to do it, because they clearly are. That's my only point. Thank you.
All right. Go ahead and ask Mr. McClary.
My question is, Dannenbaum has not been indicted. They have not been found guilty. And I thought that you were innocent until proven guilty. I think there's 2 lawyers up there that's looking at this, and you can bet your bottom dollar the county will be sued. And my question is, a couple of weeks ago, y'all had a couple of meetings, and one had a quorum, and our county judge tried everything in the books to get the dollar amount from Dannenbaum. Each and every one of you were here at that meeting. Why were you doing that? What did you know at that time? It was something I had never seen before, when you wanted a dollar amount from a company so that other people could come in and lowball something.
It was a dollar amount so that we could protect the residents of this
I
county.
know you're concerned, but I've never seen you do that with any other contract.
It's the first time we've been involved in these public negotiations, and maybe that's why you haven't seen it.
Well, it's something, because it looked bad. It looked like there was something going on.
Saving money for the county looked bad.
Yeah, well, I mean, that y'all got into a fight here. I mean, I thought we were going to have a fight. Yes, it was.
Not a fight.
Well, to me, it was a fight. That y'all were trying to find out a dollar amount, which they did come back with a percentage the following meeting. And my question is, do we do any business with the city of Edinburgh? I think y'all do tours and stuff. I think the same group of people, the FBI, went into the city of Edinburgh also. So are you going to cease and assist with anything with the city? I don't know anything about this company other than they've been here a long time. I do know that the county gets sued a lot. So, like I said, if you're saying they're incompetent, you're saying that there's something, then you bet your bottom dollar. I can say I wouldn't on the ones that graded them, but y'all graded them. Someone did. Who graded them? Maybe we better look at the graders from now on and see if they're looking at stuff. So, like I said, the public doesn't know what the FBI is looking for, but these people are innocent until they're indicted or when they're convicted. So I hope y'all think about that before y'all make this big decision. Thank you.
I'd like to go to executive session if we can. I just don't want to. I don't want to say the wrong thing up here and have this become a record for litigation against us. But whatever.
We do meet the exception. Am I correct?
Based on this discussion, I believe that litigation's been mentioned a couple of times.
Okay, then I would need a motion, Commissioner.
I'll make a motion to go to executive session.
And is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. We're going to be in executive session for a short while. All right, we are back in open session. Mr. Guerra.
Thank you, Judge, Commissioners. Apologies.
26A1?
No, ma'am. Let me do something here. Under item 30, open session, 30A, real estate acquisition corporation for saying there's no action.
No, volley on that one. I
No,
think
that's-
go back to 22A. No.
Oh, I'm sorry. Under
22A.
right.
22B, I'm sorry.
Yes, no, I understand. I'm just saying that there was no action taken in
Okay.
executive session. And so for 30A, I'm going to refer to item 22B. Mr. Garza?
Yes.
On item 22B, we're requesting approval to accept the counteroffer to purchase the tract of land known as Parcel 1 for the Precinct 2 LJ Drain project.
Move for approval. Second. Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
Thank you. I'm going to just briefly skip over 30B. Under 30C, open session. For the record, Ms. Josephine Ramirez from the Civil Litigation Division of the District Attorney's Office will be facilitating and representing the County of Hidalgo on CL 17-1754-B, Jose Andres de la Fuente versus Valsec LLC et al. I can just motion.
Move for approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 30D, claim of Linda Faye Quiroz Dickerson. Judge Commissioners, I'd like settlement authority to make an offer in the amount of $3,395.30.
Move approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item 30E, for the record, Ms. Josephine Ramirez's office with the civil litigation of the District Attorney's Office will be representing County of Hidalgo on C-1893-17-G, Sergio G. Venegas et al. Versus Unifund CCR Partners et al. I could have a motion to that effect as well.
Approval. Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And under item 30B, pending and or potential litigation, we're going to refer back to the item 26A1.
A1A.
A1A.
Action to cease negotiations with the number one ranked firm, the Dannenbaum Group, in connection with program management services for the design and construction of a new Hidalgo County courthouse.
All right. At this time, I would entertain a motion to cease negotiations with the number one ranked firm, the Dannenbaum Group, in connection with program management services for the design and construction of our new Hidalgo County courthouse due to recent actions reported in the media taken against the number one ranked firm, and are concerned that such reported actions adversely and negatively impact their performance of the services required of a program manager in a competent and qualified manner.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries unanimously.
Item B, approval to commence negotiations with the number two ranked firm of Jacobs, as shown on the original agenda item attached and supporting documentation herein, in connection with the provision of program management services for the design and construction of a new Hidalgo County courthouse.
Move for approval.
Second.
And would that be the Jacobs Project Management Firm?
Yes, sir. As I mentioned in the caption, that you have the printout it's attached to the agenda.
All right. Those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is selection and or designation of negotiation team members for that contract.
I would recommend that we keep the same group, which is the County Commissioners Court.
Okay.
And that's fine. Can a lot of the legwork be done ahead of time, Judge, since we spent a lot of time working on scope and some other items that I really wouldn't like to go through again?
I think we've already done most of the work as far as outlining and defining this type of services, what's basic, what's special, and what we need to combine so that can be included and should be and will be included in our agreement, and also the language to be used in the contract between us and the group has already been laid out by our lawyer, Mr. Hawkins.
So we'll submit that to them so that they can create their
so that they can submit
their fee
a proposed response to their proposal to us to meet those criteria.
That's correct.
Okay. Moving on to item B1.
Do you need action on C?
It's Commissioner's Court. It's
Right,
right.
but do we need that approval by the
Yes.
board?
Yes.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item B1, presentation of the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid and meeting all specifications and requirements for the purpose of award of bid to Benchmark Utility Contractors DBA Centex Trucking, including approval of the contract for the project number and title, hauling services for millings. 7 packets were distributed, 2 bids were received.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Precinct 4, approval of supplemental agreement 1 to work authorization 3 for additional services with an increase of $41,270, revising the estimated total cost to $89,360, as submitted by project engineer Half Associates under the on-call professional services agreement, building repairs, renovations, etc., for county-owned buildings located in Precinct 4 for the job-specific project of Milo Ponce Park.
Let me just give a reasoning. We've combined Phase 1 and Phase 2 into one phase, and that's the reason for the increase. So it's for both phases, and that's the reasoning for the increase.
Move for approval.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
2, as directed by Precinct 4, requesting rescission of action taken by Commissioners Court on March 21st, 2017 for Agenda Item 23D1, Items A, B, and C, selection, ranking, and authority to negotiate with the number 1 firm selected, Quintanilla, Headley and Associates, for the provisions of job-specific engineering services expansion of mile 22.5 north.
Yeah, and for clarification on that, Marty, we did have some work already done on it. That's the reason why we're rescinding.
Correct.
We want to make sure that we utilize everything that we've already done to date. So
correct. No duplication or overlapping of services. Item 3.
Second.
Those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item 3, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code, Section 262-024A4 for a professional service.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking the firm graded and evaluated through the county's approved pool of engineering firms in connection with professional engineering services on an on-call basis for all of the subject matters posted for those located within Precinct 4. The firms that were considered and nominated were Half and Associates with a score of 97, Cruz Hogan Consultants 95, and Doucette and Associates at 93. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item C is authority for purchasing department to negotiate a professional services agreement for on-call engineering services as stated on the agenda, commencing with Half and Associates.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Item D, E, F will be done by Mr. Guerra. I'm deferring to him.
Thank you, Ms. Harding. 26.
D.
Right, D. Requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under the Texas Local Government Code, Section 262-024A4 for professional services.
Right.
Yes.
Got a motion?
Move for second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And the next action item, just for the record, the CIQ and CIS have been done. Presentation of the scoring grid for the purpose of ranking by Commissioners Court the firm graded and evaluated through the county's approved pool of appraisal firms in connection to professional appraisal services for multiple on-call appraisal service agreements for projects located within Hidalgo Precinct Number 4.
You need to name.
No.
Right, and so we have the appraisal firms. First one, Leonel Garza Jr. and Associates, Inc., 98. The Real Estate Center, 94. Southmost Appraisal and Court Witness, 90. Second, Appraisal House, 98. The Real Estate Center, 94. And Southmost Appraisal Court Witness, 90. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their score?
For approval.
Second, with a comment, the reason why there's two, depending on caseloads, we're always having the issue pertaining to utilizing one or the other. This will allow us the flexibility that if, in fact, one firm is pretty booked, we can utilize the second firm to perform the services.
So we have a motion.
So we have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item F is authority for the Purchase Department to negotiate multiple professional service agreements for the purpose of on-call appraisal services for projects located within Hidalgo County Precinct 4 with the multiple ranked firms, Leonel Garza Jr. and Associates, Inc., and Appraisal House.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye. Aye, motion carries.
Also, for the record, those are done by the contract managers, and so I'm not involved in the negotiations. Item G, requesting exemption from competitive bidding requirements under Texas Local Government Code 262-024A4, a professional service.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Presentation of the scoring grid for the purposes of ranking by Commissioners Court the firms graded and evaluated through the county's approved pool of appraisal firms that do professional review appraisal services, and those are Professional Appraisal Services 98, the Real Estate the Real Estate Center 94, and Southmost Appraisal and Court Witnesses 90. Does the court wish to rank them in the order of their scores?
Move for approval. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
And I would be authority for the purchasing department to negotiate a professional services agreement for the purposes of the on-call appraisal review services, commencing with the number 1 Professional Appraisal Services Incorporated.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Going on to item 4, presentation of the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best bid and meeting all specifications and/or requirements as detailed in the documentation contained herein. 24 packets were distributed, 3 bids were received. This is for hauling of hot mix through project number 056. That would be Royce Hauling, and subject to all compliances.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item 5, approval of a correction to change order 1 in connection with Precinct 4's renovation at M Road Building, reflecting an increase of 160 calendar days from the change order effective date approved of 2/21/17, and it only mentions 60. The correction is 160.
Second.
All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item 6 is as required and directed by County Auditor staff to Precinct 4, Commissioners Court's approval of a clarification to regular agenda item 57773 on December 13th of 2016 in order to process payment for invoices for the following vendors. A, pavement markings, PO number 739727, $5,664.60. Total length of projects is 3.5 miles and prorated as 1, county length 1.4 miles, which is 40% of the 5664.60, and 2,665.84 is county's portion of the expenditure. Item 2, length 2.1 miles, 60% of $2,564.60, or $3,398.76 to be charged to aid to governments.
Move for approval on 6A1 and 6A2.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
B, Frontera Materials invoice. This is to clarify the entire amount is a county expenditure of $17,540.36.
You need a motion?
Second.
Move to approve.
Second.
Good. Steve? All in favor say aye.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
D is IT Department. A, acceptance and approval to utilize and purchase through the National Cooperative Purchasing Alliance, NCPA, contract number 0165. Awarded vendor, Cinex Corporation's authorized reseller, Richline Technical Services, LLC.
Move for approval.
Second. All in favor say aye. Aye. Motion carries.
Item B is acceptance and approval of the proposal in the amount of $56,995 submitted by Richline Technical Services, authorized reseller of NPA's awarded contractor, Cinex Corporation, for the products and support for Hidalgo County's new video conferencing equipment, subject to all compliance, and through requisition number 315769.
Move for approval.
Second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries.
For Health and Human Services Department, we're requesting approval to purchase 10 Guardian 190 G4 professional mosquito control sprayers, vector control equipment from Adapco Incorporated through Byboard's contract 447-14, with each sprayer priced at $331, totaling $73,310 through the submitted requisition 340538. And subject to all compliances.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Item 4 is presentation of sealed quotes received for the purpose of award and approval of contract documentation to the responsible vendor submitting the lowest and best quote. We had 4 packets distributed, and we received 2. In no event this was done through quotes. In no event will this contract exceed $50,000, and this is for the County Sheriff's Office DNA testing labs services. We're recommending Bode Cellmark Forensics Incorporated.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
For the District Attorney's Office, requesting approval of Amendment 2 to Construction Contract 238 with Hercon LLC for the construction of space pressure control at the autopsy facility to reflect correct liquidated damages amount.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Item H is countywide, is requesting authority to rescind action taken by Commissioners Court on 418 through regular agenda item 59291, as it is in our best interest to do so, in order to have the most common precast safety and end treatments available for end users.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
B would be presentation of the sole responsible vendor, LNR Precast Concrete Works, submitting the lowest and best bid for the number of items meeting all specifications and requirements. And this is for safety, the precast safety and treatments through project number 047.
Move for approval.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
And item C is requesting authority to advertise an approval of procurement packet. These are with the new modified specs, which add a lot more sizes for the precast, and that's what we're going to try to do, is get a contract where the vendors are able to get us some of these products.
Move for unit action. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, the next item is open forum. We did have two presenters, and I wrote down, I just can't find it, but if my recollection is correct, Ms. McClarty had roughly 35 seconds, so sorry. And it's under, you have listed taxpayers' money.
All right, my question is selection, ranking, and authority to negotiate with the number one firm selected. Who does these rankings? Maybe y'all need to check on this. Is that 30 seconds?
Thank you, ma'am.
Commissioners Court.
That's all we have. Our next scheduled Commissioners Court is May 16th. May 16th.
Move to adjourn.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.